you clicked on this video, chances are that you are applying for jobs in Canada and you are either not hearing back or getting interviews but not the offers. And what's more frustrating is that you know that you are qualified. You have the experience, the skills. On paper, you should be getting these jobs. And I get it. I remember sitting after yet another, we decided to move on with another candidate email and thinking, what went wrong? My resume is solid. My interview went well. What's missing? And then I did take the time to speak with a couple of Canadian hiring managers, and this is what they said. They said we are receiving amazing resumes from newcomers, incredible experience, but they do not speak Canadian. Not in resumes, and definitely not during interviews. This one phrase explained everything. And today, I am going to break down what they meant and how to fix it. So whether you are struggling to get interviews or convert those interviews into offers. So let's go. So what does not speaking Canadian actually mean? Let me give you an example from my own field, advertising technology. I could say on my resume that I managed programmatic advertising campaigns with advanced bidding optimizations across multiple platforms. Technically, true, shows my expertise. But what a Canadian manager hears is nothing because I did not answer what they are actually asking, which is, do you understand CASL compliance? Have you ever worked with Canadian ad exchanges and publishers? Do you know how bilingual campaigns work? Can you navigate Canadian agency relationships? See the difference? Your international experience is valuable, but a Canadian employer needs to look at it from a Canadian lens. They need to understand if you understand their business context, their market, and their regulations. Here is why this translation doesn't happen naturally. You are thinking, I have 10 years of experience doing X. That should speak for itself. Whereas the Canadian hiring manager is thinking, can this person do X in Canada? Do they understand our market? Or will I have to train them on everything from scratch? That's a fundamental mismatch. And here is the thing. Some of your skills do transfer directly. Your technical abilities, your core methodologies, your fundamental knowledge, that's solid. But other parts of your experience, those are deeply tied to the context where you built them. You understand your home country's consumer behavior, the rules and regulations, and you have those industry relationships back home. You know what works there. But here, the Canadian hiring manager wants to know, do you know what works here? And if your resume and your interview answers don't show that, they will assume that you know nothing. They will assume that they'll have to train you on everything from scratch. And that's why you become a risk. There are two types of skills. Skills that transfer. These are your technical, universal, portable skills. So if you are a software engineer, your coding skills, your algorithm skills, problem solving, etc. If you are in finance, financial modeling, accounting principles, etc. If you are from the design background, then designing skills, creative tools that you use, etc. And then there are skills that need Canadian context. These are everything. Understanding the local market, understanding consumer behavior, regulations, industry practices, relationship building norms, workplace etiquette, communication style. And if you lack these, it is not difficult for a hiring manager to notice these gaps. So, how do you actually fix this? How do you speak Canadian? Go through your resume. For every skill, every responsibility, every achievement, ask yourself, which skill is universal and which one is context dependent? For example, led marketing campaigns that increased customer acquisition by 40%. Campaign strategy, analytics, optimization are universal. Consumer behavior, channels, and regulations are context dependent. Mark everything that's context dependent, and that's what you need to translate. Step number 2, research Canadian context. For every context dependent skill, do your homework. If you are in marketing, what are Canadian consumer trends? What holidays matter? What does Canadian anti-spam legislation require? If you are in tech, what are some of the popular tech stacks in companies? Are there any bilingual product requirements? What are the most popular tech hubs and their specializations? If you are in finance, what are the implications of Canadian tax? What are some of the popular banks and top financial institutions? What are the regulatory bodies? This is non-negotiable. If you want to translate, you need to understand the language. Step number 3, reframe your resume. Now, rewrite your experience in resumes. So instead of saying manage digital advertising campaigns, say something like manage digital advertising campaigns with expertise in data privacy compliance. Currently, upskilling in CASL requirements and Canadian programmatic advertising ecosystem. You are showing that yes, I have the skills and I understand that it needs Canadian context. What I'm doing is trying to bridge that gap. Number 4, prepare Canadian context interview answers. When they ask, tell us about your experience, don't just explain what you did. Structure your answer in 3 parts. Number 1, what you did in your global experience. Number 2, what do you understand about the Canadian context? And number 3, how would you translate your experience to Canadian context? For example, in my last experience, I managed a team of 8 developers building mobile apps. I have researched the Canadian tech landscape and understand that bilingual functionality is a requirement, especially for products targeting Quebec. And I also understand the consumer privacy laws under PIPEDA. I would bring my team management and mobile development skills to this role and make sure that our products meet Canadian expectations. Now you are showing that you have the skills and you understand Canadian context. Here is the mindset shift that makes all of this work. Stop thinking, I have the experience and they should hire me. Instead, start thinking, I have the experience and I understand how to apply it to the Canadian context. The hiring manager's role is to minimize risk. When you show them that you have done the work to understand the Canadian context, you become a safe bet. You are not asking them to take a chance on you. Rather, you are showing them that you have actually started the adaptation process. And this is what speaking Canadian means. It is showing that you understand their business context, their regulations, and their market. Look, your international experience is an asset. Your proven track record, your global knowledge, your diverse perspective, it's absolutely wonderful. But the Canadian employers need to see that you understand how to apply it in their context. They need to know that they will not have to spend months in training you. You need to show that you have done your homework. And the good news is that all of this is under your control. It requires research, framing, and intentional translation. And do this before you apply. Don't wait for them to ask for Canadian context. Be proactive and show that you have done the work and are ready to take it forward. If this helped you see your job search differently, please like and subscribe. Share it with somebody who might need it. Also, drop a comment about what's the biggest context gap that you are trying to bridge right now. If I like it, I might create another video about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.